Good morning to all of you. We are continuing with chapter number 1. Chapter 1 of OC. Nature and scope of management. Yesterday we have completed nature or characteristics or features of management. Today new topic is importance of management. Importance of management. Yesterday we have completed nature, means management is universal process, it is continuous process, goal-oriented activity, group activity, decision process. These are all characteristics of a human process. These are all characteristics of management. Now, importance of management. First of all, points. Importance of management. First one is optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources. Necessary in every fields. Necessary in every fields. Optimum utilization of resources. Then useful for success of business. Four, accomplishment of objectives. Fifth, increase in job opportunities. An additional point, 6, increase in profit. These are points regarding importance of management. Once again, management means management is an art of getting things done through others. Management is an art of getting work done through others. And management includes planning, organizing, then staffing, directing, and controlling. These are the functions of management. Some experts have included one or two additional points in functions of management, like coordination, budget. These are all functions of management, but mainly these 5 functions are called functions of management. In one line, I am explaining all these terms. Planning means deciding in advance what to do, when to do, how to do, and by whom it is to be done. Means in planning, the work system is decided in advance. In planning, future risks and uncertainties are observed in advance and they prepare in order to face or in order to remove those risks and uncertainties. They are preparing in advance. That is called planning. In short, I am telling. Organizing means whenever 2 or more individuals are working together for achieving some specific purpose, for achieving some specific target, then there is a need of formal administrative structure. There is need of formal administrative structure. Administrative structure. Now, what is formal administrative structure? Where formal administrative structure is that structure, that organization where work must be done in a systematic manner. Work must be done by following rules and regulation, where superior subordinate relation must be there, or communication must take place. in a scientific manner, in a systematic manner. That is called formal administrative structure. Then staffing, in simple language, recruitment of employees, because employees or staff is very important in order to implement planning. So recruitment of employees is called staffing. Next one is directing. Once employees are recruited, then top level managements are issuing orders, instructions, suggestions, guidance to them time to time in order to accomplish the objective within the specified time period. So in simple language, issuing orders or instruction is called directing. Controlling means once planning is implemented, once planning comes into action, then after regular interval it must be checked whether all activities are going according to plan or not. And if not, then business unit has to take some corrective action in order to bring the plan into right track. So controlling makes planning effective. So all these functions are called functions of management. So all these functions are very important. Why it is important? For optimum utilization of resources, necessary in every field, then useful for success of business, then accomplishment of objectives, increase in job opportunities, and increase in profit. Now explanation of all points one by one. First of all, I am explaining simple point, necessary in every field, which we have already done in previous topic. Means characteristics of management. Necessary in every field means it is universal. The point, management is a universal process. Almost same explanation we have to explain here also. Universal process, that management. If we talk about business unit, right now we are talking about business unit, or wherever, not only business unit, wherever two or more individuals are working together in order to accomplish, in order to achieve a specific target, then they need to implement, they need to execute all the functions. Again, all the functions, planning to controlling. They need to execute all the functions properly. Then only it is possible that work can be done in a systematic manner and objective can be achieved within the specified time period. So far as business unit is concerned, business unit has three levels: top level, middle level, and bottom level. At all levels of management, first of all, I am talking about business unit. At all level of management, functions of management is applicable. How? First point is planning. Top level management prepare plans for the entire organization, for the whole organization. Middle level management, where whole business unit is divided into different departments like purchase department, sales department, finance department, advertisement department, marketing department. So at middle level management, whole business units, whole activities are divided into different departments, and for each department, departmental heads are appointed. These departmental heads are preparing plan for their particular department. Then at bottom level management, supervisor is the head of this level. Under supervisor, many workers are working. Means at this level production take place. So supervisor also has to prepare plan for day-to-day routine. So this is about planning, first function of management. And whenever planning comes into action, whenever planning is implemented, then along with planning, controlling function is also executed. Again, controlling process means to see whether all activities are going or performing according to the planning or not. And if not, then corrective actions are taken by these departmental heads or supervisor, or at top level management, board of directors, they are taking corrective action in order to make planning successful and effective. Planning controlling completed. Similarly, staffing means recruitment of employees. Top level managements are also recruiting employees, means CEO, Managing Director, top executives. Middle level management are recruiting employees for their department. Similarly, supervisors are also recruiting workers for their bottom level management. That is what staffing. And then directly, time to time, they are issuing orders to their subordinates, all levels of management, officers at all levels of management. They are issuing orders and instructions time to time to their workers in order to complete the work within the specified time period. So here, functions of management are applicable at all levels of management. Now, apart from this, if we talk about other fields like sports, politics, education, defense, in all these different fields, functions of management, especially planning and controlling and issuing orders, guidance is very necessary. That's why we can say not only in business unit, apart from business unit, in other fields also where two or more than two individuals are working for achieving a specific objective, there all functions of management are necessary to implement. That's why on this basis we can say that management is necessary not only in business unit, it is compulsory, it is essential in all other fields like sports, politics, education, defense, etc. The first point, necessary in every field is completed. Now next point, optimum utilization of resources. Optimum utilization of resources here does not mean maximum. Optimum means using the available resources in the best possible manner in order to produce more and more with low cost. High production with low cost. And when business units are able to produce high, means more, with low cost, it means they are able to or they are utilizing their resources at optimum level. So optimum does not mean maximum. Optimum means best possible manner, in the best possible manner. So whatever resources, now explanation, whatever resources business units have, for example, resources are man, method, money, machineries. These are all resources. So here we are talking about optimum utilization of resources. So whatever resources business unit have, if management is efficient, means if management is efficient, they are able to implement or execute all the functions of management like planning, directing, controlling, then it means they are able to or they are success in utilizing all these resources at optimum level, means they can use their resources without any wastage. If management is efficient, then they can use all these resources at optimum level, means without any wastage of resources, they can achieve high production with low cost. It means if management is efficient, they are able to increase their profit margin. And on the contrary, if management is not efficient, then wasted resources can take place to a larger extent, profit margin reduces, and when profit margin reduces, it means they are not able to achieve the pre-decided target. So it is very necessary that every business unit must have efficient management. If efficient management is there, they are able to utilize all the resources at optimum level, and as a result, high production or high income can take place with minimum cost, with low cost. The second point is also complete. Now, third point, useful for the success of business. Useful for the success of business. No doubt that management is very necessary for the success of business. If business wants to expand, if business unit wants to expand, if business units wants to achieve target within the specified time period, if business wants to capture a big share in the market, big share in the market, if business units want big share in the market means increasing number of consumers, or here I am writing increasing number of consumers. If business units wants to build up good reputation in the market, good reputation in the market, so it becomes compulsory for, if once again, third point, useful for success of business. If business unit wants to expand itself, they want to achieve their pre-decided target within the specified time period, if they want to capture a big share in the market, or if they want to increase their number of consumers, if they want to build a good reputation in the market for a longer period, then it is very necessary that all the functions of management must be implemented or executed in the best possible manner. And if management is efficient, third point, if management is efficient, then they can convert a small size business unit into a large sized business unit. If management is efficient means if they are able to prepare a good plan, ideal plan, if they are able to implement the plan effectively, if they are able to implement and execute all other functions time to time, they are issuing proper guidance, proper orders, instructions to their employees, to their subordinates, if they are controlling all the activities in the best possible manner, then no doubt that a small size business unit can also be converted into large size business unit. And if management, one more point, if management is efficient, then they are able to face all the negative situation and convert the loss making units. If management is efficient, they are also able to convert loss making units into a profit making units. Means if management is efficient, they are able to handle, they are able to face all those risks and uncertainties, and out of those risks and uncertainties, they are able to find out a big opportunities for the business unit. That's why efficient management is very useful, very important for the success of business. Next point, accomplishment of objective. Accomplishment of objective. Now explanation of accomplishment of objective is very simple. By combining all the explanation, all the important points from these 3 points, it becomes accomplishment of objective. For example, if management is efficient, here management is efficient means if business units are able to implement all the functions of management timely, effectively and successfully, then what can be done? First, then what can be done in a systematic manner? What can be done in a systematic manner? First point, it is the advantage of efficient management, that what can be done in a systematic manner. If all the functions of management are implemented successfully, then no doubt that business units are able to maintain coordination among employees. If management, functions of management are implemented effectively, successfully, then no doubt that discipline can be maintained. Discipline among employees. can be maintained. And if coordination is maintained, discipline is maintained, then no doubt that all the resources can be used at optimum level. And if all the resources of business needs, all the resources means all the available resources, whatever resources they have, if they are able to use all the resources at optimum level, then no doubt that business needs are one more point. If this management is efficient, they are able to face all unknown risk and uncertainties. They are able to face, they are able to handle the negative situation and try to convert this negative situation into a big opportunities. And if management is efficient, once again, coordination among employees can be maintained, discipline among employees can be maintained. As a result, work can be done in a systematic manner. And if work is done in a systematic manner, it indicates that all the resources, all the available resources are using at optimum level. They are able to face, means they are ready to face all the risk and uncertainties which may occur in future and which may affect business negatively. Then no doubt that they are able to accomplish their objective within the specified time period. Next one is increase in job opportunities. Now points are different, but explanation is almost same. Increase in job opportunities. Now whenever any, fifth point, increase in job opportunities. Now whenever any small or large size business unit is established, it generates employment opportunities. But if we talk about existing business, if existing business have efficient management, if existing business units have efficient management, then they are able to increase their production. First point, they are able to increase their production. Increase their production means they are able to increase their profit also. So if management is efficient, once again, if management is efficient means here the meaning of efficient management means when business units are able to implement all the functions of management in a proper manner, in a proper direction, then it becomes very easy to increase their production. And whenever production increases, they need to employ, they need to recruit new workers, means it creates job opportunities. If management is efficient, they are able to expand their business unit, means they are able to increase their branches in the same city or in other states also, and expansion of business units also create job opportunities. So if management is efficient, if they are able to implement, execute all the functions of management properly in the systematic manner, no doubt that they can increase their production with the available resources. If they are able to utilize their resources at optimum level, no doubt that they can expand their business, and expansion of business, increase in the volume production generates employment opportunities. So increase in job opportunities. Next one is almost same, increase in profit. If management is efficient, again same points which we have done. If management is efficient, they are able to means they can implement all the functions of management properly. All the functions means once again planning, directing, controlling, staffing, organizing, First point, if management is efficient, it means they are in a position to implement and execute all the functions of management properly. Implement functions of management properly. If management is efficient, it means they are able to utilize all the resources at optimum level. Again, almost same explanation. Optimum level. If management is efficient, they are able to maintain coordination and discipline among employees. If management is efficient, they are able to motivate and satisfy their employees. If management is efficient, they are able to provide quality products at reasonable price to their consumers. It means they are able to satisfy their consumers to a larger extent. If management is efficient, they are able to expand their business. They are able to increase their volume of production. And ultimately, if management is efficient, they are able to utilize all these resources for higher production. Means they are able to utilize all these resources for higher production with low cost. And when all these activities, all these factors are involved by implementing all the functions of management efficiently, effectively and successfully, no doubt that business will earn maximum profit every year. So efficient management or functions of management, if implemented effectively, then it will increase the profit of business also. That's why management is very important for any business unit. Once again, importance of management. Optimum utilization of resources means through efficient management, resources can be utilized at optimum level. Management is necessary in all those fields where two or more individuals are working for the achievement of common objective. Management is very important for the success of business. Means if any business units want success in that particular field, it is very necessary for them, it becomes compulsory for them to implement all the functions of management effectively. And if management becomes efficient, they can convert loss-making industries, loss-making business unit into a profit one. Accomplishment of objective, if all these points they are able to achieve, means if through efficient management they are able to utilize all the resources at optimal level. Through efficient management they are able to implement all the functions of management properly. Through efficient management they are able to do the work in a systematic manner. Through efficient management they are able to maintain coordination and discipline among employees. They are able to satisfy their employees, they are able to satisfy the consumers also, they are able to satisfy other stakeholders. Through efficient management they are able to expand their business, they are able to increase their volume of production. Through efficient management they are able to face all the negative situation, all the odd situation, and sometimes convert those odd situation, negative situation into a big opportunities, and as a result they are successful in getting higher production, target of higher production with low cost, and as a result accomplishment of objective becomes easy. Means they can achieve their target, they can achieve their objectives without any obstacles, without any hindrances. If efficient management is there, business units expands, they are able to increase their production. As a result, it creates more and more job opportunities for the individual and increasing profit. If efficient management is there, all these functions will be implemented automatically, and as a result, profit of the business unit also increases. Two topics we have completed. First one is nature of management. Second one is importance of management. Now third topic. Third topic is management. Management as a science. Nowadays, management is also considered almost similar to science. But why management is considered as science? This is the next topic. Now, first of all, before explaining about management as a science, we must know what is science. So this is the definition of science. We all know that in science, physics, chemistry, biology, these are studied. Science is a systematized body of knowledge. Systematized body of knowledge science is a systematized body of knowledge. Why it is a systematized body of knowledge? Because it is based on experiments, and it is based on experiments and research. Once again, it is a systematized body of knowledge which is based on experiments and research. And on this basis means on the basis of experiments and research. On this basis, certain principles are derived, means certain principles are derived, means certain principles are concluded, and these principles are universally, means everywhere, universally true and acceptable. True and acceptable. So means the definition of one word definition science, that is, it is a systematized body of knowledge. And actually this is the last answer, the last sentence of this science. Why it is a systematized body of knowledge? Because every concept, every theory in science, it is based on experiments and research. For example, Newton's theory, gravitational force, theory of gravitational force. We all know that number of times experiment had done, observation were done, and on the sometimes research were also taking. So experiments and research means it is based on research and experiments. Then on the basis of these experiments and research, some laws and principles, some laws or we can say principles are made, and we all know these laws and principles, not only principles, laws, principles or laws are universally true and acceptable, whether it is India or America or any other country. Everywhere same theory of gravitational force is studied in the same manner, because it is true and acceptable everywhere, because it is based on experiments and research, and on the basis of those experiments and research certain laws and principles are concluded, are derived, and then said these are acceptable everywhere. It means it is a systematized body of, that's why on this basis we can say that science is a systematized body of knowledge. Whatever concepts, whatever theories are studied in science, such theories, such concepts are made after a long experiments and research once again, and on this basis of experiments and research various laws and principles are concluded or derived, and such laws and principles are universally true everywhere. That's why we can say that it is a systematized body of knowledge. So this is the definition of science. Now, how management is considered as science? Now, how management is considered as science? Nowadays, there are two types of business. One is traditional. When traditional means old business. In traditional business, the value, the importance, tradition means olden times. In olden times, the value, the importance of employees were completely ignored. Their qualification were completely ignored. They were not, they are means that time employees were not recruited according to scientific manner, according to their qualification. The person who is honest, who is doing hard work, they will get promotion. Means there is no scientific methods to recruit employees. Business units in traditional method, in olden times, business units were not adopting new techniques, new method in order to increase their market, in order to capture a big share in the market, in order to satisfy their consumers, in order to satisfy their employees. They were not adopting such type of scientific or new techniques in order to expand their business, in order to increase their profit. But nowadays, if we talk about modern times, nowadays various experts have studied the behavior of employees. When they will do more work, how they will do more work, how business units can motivate their employees. What are the methods in order to motivate employees? For example, by increment in salary time to time, by giving them additional incentives time to time. Such factors can motivate employees. Sometimes, if they are doing hard work, appreciation is very necessary. By appreciation, they can motivate their employees. So there are various methods. So various management experts and gurus have made a research. They made a research about the human behavior. Human behavior here means employees. Once again, how business units can expand their market, how they can boost up the morale of the employees, how they can motivate their employees to do more work, how they can achieve the target within the specified time period. So on all these factors, these are the questions. On all these factors, they have made an observation, and on the basis of observation, they had made some principles. These principles are called principles of management. So in principles of management also, once again we can say it is also based on experiment and research. Means various management gurus and experts had made experiments and research about the human behavior. about the human behavior. And after studying human behavior, they had also made some principles and laws or principles, and these laws or principles are also true and acceptable in every business unit, in order to achieve a specific target within the specified time period. Thus, on these basis, we can say management is also considered as science. Once again, science is a systematized body of knowledge. Why it is a systematized body of knowledge? Because it is based on experiments and research, and on the basis of experiments and research, various laws and principles are concluded or derived, and these principles or laws are universally true and acceptable everywhere. Similarly, in management also nowadays, management is also based on experiments and research. First point, because such experiments and research are based on human behavior. Then, on the basis of experiments and research, in management also various laws or principles are derived like science, and these laws or principles are also acceptable truly everywhere. That's why on this basis we can say management is considered as a science. So management as a science completed. Once again, in short, I am explaining first of all definition of science, because one mark question may comes, what is science? So science, last time, science is a systematized body of knowledge. It is based on experiments and research, and on the basis of experiment and research, various laws and principles are made, and these principles and laws are universally true and acceptable. Similarly, management, it is also, in every sentence you have to use word also, then it becomes that management is a science. That management is also based on experiment and research. It is also a systematic body of knowledge. On the basis of experiment and research, various laws and principles are also considered in management, and these laws and principles are acceptable everywhere, not only in business unit, everywhere where two or more individuals are working together for the achievement of common objective. Thus, on this basis, we can say management